Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make a squash casserole, but I'm using a zucchini, and I'm sure will be people in my comments saying, that's not a squash. Well, it's in the same family, and I'm using it because my local grocery store did not have yellow squash. Typically, I would do this recipe using yellow squash, but I have had to use zucchini before, and it was just fine. So that's what we're using. And a little secret about not having watery squash casserole. You notice in yellow squash you can have larger seeds, but if you can get as many of those seeds removed as possible, the less amount of water will be in the squash casserole. And we'll use another technique in just a minute, and I'll show you how I do that. But normally what I will try to do, whether I'm frying squash or whether I am making a squash casserole, is I try to just remove the seeds. So I cut it into quarters lengthwise, and I just go in with a knife, being pretty careful with it, and remove the largest part of the zucchini that holds the seeds. You don't have to do it this way. You can cut them in half and use, just like this, and use a spoon to scrape out the seeds. You can just take a spoon and go right down the middle, just like that. But, you know, it's about preference. I prefer doing it with my knife, but either way works. Do you have to do that? No, you certainly don't. You can cook the squash long enough and drain it well enough that you don't have to remove the seeds. But I found I can do it, this just works faster if I go ahead and try to get that watery part out first. So once I've done that, I will slice these into smaller pieces that look about like that. So I'm going to do that, and I'll come back and show you what happens next. So I just cut up 4 zucchini that were about that size, and this is what we have. And remember, I took those seeds right out, or as many as possible. There's still going to be some left in there, but that's what we're working with. To this, I'm going to add 1 onion. I'm using a sweet onion. You certainly can use any kind of onion you like. If you want more onion, add more onion. If you want no onion, don't add any onion. It's up to you. This is the way my mama made squash casserole. Of course, in the summer, she made it a lot because sometimes when squash comes off in the garden, it's all coming up roughly the same time. So it's easy to have an abundance of squash in the summer. So I'm just going to add this onion that I've just cut up into relatively small pieces, not too tiny. And I'm going to add that to the zucchini. And now I'm going to add some seasonings, starting with salt and pepper and a little garlic powder. I'm using Himalayan salt. The salt is going to help draw a lot more of that moisture out. And I'm eyeballing it, you know, it actually, on camera, it looks like I put just a ton of salt in there. It's not as much as you think it is, but I do go heavy on the black pepper just because I like a lot of black pepper on most of my food. And then just a generous sprinkling of garlic powder. Now what I'm going to do is, a lot of times you'll see this squash casserole, the Southern style squash casserole recipe, where they'll boil the squash or stew the squash beforehand, and that's perfectly fine. Just make sure you drain all that water out. What I like to do is I want to get a little bit of color on this, a little brown on it. So I'm going to pop this into a saute pan with enough olive oil to coat the bottom, and I'm going to draw that moisture out simply by sauteing it. And once I've done that, I'll bring it back. I'll show you what I have. All right, so I just sauteed them, and they look like this. But if you notice, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's still quite a bit of liquid in here. I'm going to put this in a food strainer and get the rest of that liquid out. because this will continue to release liquid as it bakes in the oven, and I'm wanting to make sure I prevent as much of that excess liquid as possible. This is what we have. I've just drained the liquid out that cooked out of it. Some of it cooked out and evaporated, the other was left in the pan, so I just drained it. I'm just going to pop that back into a mixing bowl. You can do the same technique with yellow squash. It works all the same. Yellow squash tends to have larger seeds in it, so you may want to remove more of those seeds, but we're just putting it in this mixing bowl. Now we're going to add what is going to create the creaminess to it. I have here 2/3 cups of mayonnaise that I'm going to add in 1/3 cup of sour cream. And I love a specific type of mayonnaise. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Southerner, you probably already know what that is. But it has gotten so expensive in the grocery store, unless it's on sale, I don't buy it. I have to do something else that's more cost effective. I go through a whole lot of mayonnaise in this kitchen, as you can imagine. So to that, so we have 2/3 cup of mayonnaise, 1/3 cup of sour cream, and then 1 can of cream of chicken soup. If you prefer cream of mushroom soup or cream of celery soup, doesn't matter, just some kind of creamy soup. And I'm mixing this together before I add it to that, so I don't overmix that mixture. And to this, I am going to add a little more pepper, because I'm a black pepper lover, and you don't have to add that if you don't want to. And I'm going to add a little more garlic powder. I'm not adding salt right now. The reason is I'm going to be adding cheddar cheese in a little bit, and sometimes cheddar can get things a little on the salty side, and I've already added salt to the zucchini when it was cooking. So we're just going to give that a good mix and pour it right into the bowl with the zucchini. And this recipe is pretty forgiving. If you have extra squash that you want to add in, or extra zucchini, or you can even mix the two. You can do half squash, half zucchini. It actually is really pretty. It comes out really pretty that way with the green and the yellow together. But you could totally add more if you want. This is going to make a really creamy, cheesy blend. And so far, I don't know if you can see it there, but that's what it looks like so far. You can see it's very creamy. And then we're just going to go in. This is 8 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. You can use white cheddar, you can use yellow cheddar, it matters not. Whichever one your little heart desires, you can use that. We're going to add this into a casserole dish. Some people add egg to this mixture to kind of make it set up a little better, but I don't. I like the creaminess of it when it comes out, and if you let it sit and rest a bit after you cook it, it typically sets up pretty well anyway. But if you want to add an egg, you can do that. And what I have is a casserole dish here. I've buttered the casserole dish. You can spray it with nonstick cooking spray if you'd like. That works as well. I'm just going to pour this right in here. And I try not to waste a whole lot of ingredients at all. So I'm just scraping that bowl and getting as much of that goodness out of there as possible. And we're just going to spread it around. Just like that. And now for the topping. You can do Ritz crackers. You could do Pepperidge Farm stuffing mix. I'm using cornflakes. I like cornflakes. I have 2 cups of cornflakes here. And I've melted 1/2 stick of butter. And I'm just pouring that cooled butter into the bag with the cornflakes. And I'm just going to toss them around pretty well to get them all coated. And I'll crunch some of them up. I don't want to crunch too much, but I don't want it looking like sawdust when it's on there. I want people to actually see that there's crunchy topping. And then we'll just go right on top with that. Just like that. And just spread it around, trying to get as much of that on top as possible. All right, and this will go into a 350-degree oven until it is bubbly and it's got a little bit of a brownness to it. Every oven is different. I will tell you how long I cook mine, but we're just gonna pop it into a 350-degree oven, and I'll be back and show you what it looks like. And there it is. It cooked on 350 degrees for about 40 minutes in my oven, but you can see it got golden brown, and this has been sitting for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and see, it's not very jiggly at all. Let's see what it looks like. Very creamy. The longer it sits at room temperature, the more set up or firm it will be. But look at that. Squash casserole, and yes, you can substitute zucchini if you need to. Thanks for watching.